Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today we're going to be talking about Italian tanks. You can see I got a 55% win rate in them. Really, just in the tier 5, 46%. The rest of them are pretty good. But today isn't about the whole Italian line, which has been underwhelming. Today is about the tier 7 Italian medium tank. And first of all, I want you to look at the two guns you can use. The 9042 is on the second package, and it gets 1 round a minute faster and 15 to 20 less penetration. So you're going to be using premium rounds, but really that big gun, the 9053, you're going to be using premium rounds anyways. All right, so you can see my ammo loadout. I do carry 20 APCRs, and that's because of the lack of penetration on this gun. Now, I don't mind this tank, but it's hard to really evaluate after playing the tier 6, because the tier 6 was probably one of the worst tier 6 medium tanks in this game, in my opinion. But anyways, let's jump into the first game. I'm going to make a horrendous play right here. I'm going to charge an E25, and I would have been okay. Now, I would have been okay if, one, I communicated to Hoops that I was going to make this play, and two, the AMX M445 doesn't rush in here. But he countered my rush with his rush, and that's not really going to get both of us killed. So threw my tank away. Now I'm just going to be the eyes for Hoops. And I've put 3 games together in a 16-minute video, so there is going to be times where I fast forward it for you guys. And that was really just me cycling back to his tank, but we get back in time for him to shut down the AMX. Now, him and the Biscuit pushed up, and they killed those 2 tanks, and now the 43 on their team is going to kill our Biscuit. And I'm just going to be the eyes for him and let him know just kind of what's around him, how the map is progressing, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He can just strictly focus on his gameplay. Now, one of the things this tank reminds me of is the T20, just because it's got like a higher alpha gun, but you suffer from a long reload. So you should be decisive with your shots here in this tank, but more so in the tier 6. Feels like more of a punishment in the tier 6 if you miss your shots, whereas the tier 7 has mobility to kind of get yourself out of those situations. So there's a Scorpion on our team that pulled up next to Hoops, and I don't know why he just couldn't sit back with the other 2 tank destroyers, but maybe I inspired him. We'll say that I inspired him to make bad decisions. So he was so inspired, he decides to rush out in front of the red team and die. Good job. Alright, so it's tied up. We got 8-8. Hoops does have 2 tank destroyers behind him. We also have an Artie. You can see this 43 is taking damage trying to get over here to get to Hoops. And I let Hoops know that he's got one coming on his right. So he does some quick action, turns his turret just in time, gets a bounce. And this turret is by no means reliable, but if you're using the 7 degrees of gun depression, it's got some nice angles and a nice gun mantlet that will bounce some shots for you. So at this point, both P43s are destroyed on their team. However, there's an IS-2 coming, and that is a big gun to get hit by. He is shooting HE and just breaks Hoop's gun, so Hoop can't shut him down. However, the Challenger behind him gets him. So you see there's a Tiger P going to our base, and our Oni falls, and then our Artie decides to ram the Tiger P. So the Tiger P gets 2 kills, puts us down 12-10, and now their P43 pops up back here. And apparently he wasn't dead. He was hiding. I don't know how he was staying hidden there. But I, tell Hoops here, just take your time, make sure their shot counts, because the reload is way too long, and your tank destroyer might take damage if you miss that shot. So he took his time, made sure he landed that shot, and now he spots full health absolution. And the Challenger pulls up here, and the Challenger gets hit by Artie, and you can see that he also was inspired by Mustardmav's amazing performance, that he decides to rush into the enemy reds and get himself killed pretty quickly. So I let Hoops know the only chance he's got really to win this is to help his Challenger out. Unfortunately, the left takes him, and now he's left with just a Hellcat on his team, which is fine because this Hellcat has been playing smart. However, the Charioteer was playing smart until that final moment there. So he's going to work this ridgeline. And I'm letting him know that the Tiger P is going to be working up the 1 line. My guess is probably like on the H line right now if he went directly up the 1 line. So he can't lollygag too much. He's got to, and then the T20 tracks him. Of course, he gets tracked. Motored, the left breaks his gun, breaks his motor, and that allows the T20 to shut him down. And I don't know what the Hellcat was doing in that whole timing, but now the Tiger P's behind the Hellcat. The Hellcat's forced to make a move, and he's just out of position. Now, honestly, I feel like that Charioteer, had he just been patient like he was the whole game, they probably would have had a better chance to pull this down. Unfortunately, it's a defeat, but Hoops does get an ace tanker, 2,600 damage, 4 kills, and unfortunately I don't have his endgame board to show you. Let's jump into the second one. Ardennes standard battle in an 8 match this time. Now, we worked up through the tech tree together, so we have 50% crews. At this point in our tier 7s, by no means are they 50%. I think we're both working on our first skill, but just to bring that to light, we don't even have brothers in arms on our crews in these games. So I'm gonna get in position here, and I see a P-44 Pantera, which is a tier 8 Italian tank. Get a shot into him, and then it's gonna be some more fast forward and driving, just kind of waiting for the game to develop. I don't want to get my tank in there. This isn't a tank that you can get out of trouble with the gun. Now, the mobility is the big difference between 6 and 7. This tank can get in and out of trouble via mobility. It is very fast and agile and a fun tank to drive. However, the gun handling isn't as good as the mobility. So I'm going to try to lead this Pantera here, and I just hesitate, end up missing the shot. Oops is kind of caught in like the E4 corner up there, so if they decide to rush him, he doesn't have any help, and he lets me know that he's probably going to need my help, so I let him know that I'm coming. Now this thing's stock, you don't get the motor for it, and it feels exactly like the tier 6, but don't worry, once you get the motor, it's like a life-changing experience. This tank transforms. Alright, so I come around the corner. There's their P-43. So I'm kind of pushing him up, and I get the upper hand on him, shut him down, and then just gotta toss him to the side. Get out of here. Get out of here, dude. Alright, so they're coming, and I want to stay under their gun line. And I'm hoping they both don't jump over at the same time, and maybe we can track one up there. We are winning 6-4. I like the fact that they seem more separated from each other, and our team is a little bit more condensed. However, on this map, of course, we have all our snipers in A0 because that's like the greatest place to go on this map. Miss Trinity has had enough. He doesn't want to wait there. So as he comes down, I can't really get out of the way, but his turret turns so slow. He does not have maneuverability, and I'm able to shut him down. Now onto the Pantera. The Pantera killed Hoops, then he bounced a shell off me, and I know he has 3 shells in his auto reloading clip, so I'm just curious on how he's going to use them. It seemed like he waited to reload a second shell, and then now has dumped his clip thinking that last shell was going to kill me, and I win the fight. Not by much. Not by much. Left on a sliver. Alright, so now their heavies are going to make a push into our base. I don't know what that play was from the red team, but whatever. Like, if you spawn in the south, you don't need to go up the 0 line, because generally there's going to be like 6 tanks in A0, so unless you have someone spotting them, you're going to get trapped on the 0 line. I think it's always safe to swing around the bottom and take the city. Unless you have a scout that's going to spot everyone up there, and then it's glorious. So I go up to the artillery hidey hole, and I find this T-28. He's AFK, which is fantastic. A tier 8 tank destroyer that I get to farm all to myself. Now, this is going to kind of feel like a cheap ace tanker, but after killing that Pantera, I felt like I deserved it. 3,200 damage, 4 kills, throw down an ace tanker, but it was kind of a cheap one, so I decided to show you guys one more game. Alright, and now I'm flying solo. This is later on Corellia, Rain encounter battle. Now, besides like the gun handling isn't the greatest on this, the accuracy is 0.4, which to me for a medium tank is pretty atrocious, to be honest. And the shell velocity of these AP rounds are fairly bad as well. So there's 2 reasons to use the APCRs, and that's obviously to up your penetration because it's sad already, and the second reason to get some decent shell velocity. And the APCRs aren't fast by any means, but the AP rounds feel like you're shooting HE shells. Alright, so generally you can't push up this far on this map. However, the red team has conceded it to us, and if they're going to give me extra ground, I'm going to take it. The farther I can push up, knowing I have teammates behind me, the more aggressive I can be, and I'm going to hold the red team back while my heavies get into position. Alright, and this one, I wasn't recording like the other 2. I was in replay mode, so I'm going to have some gun camera views that look like I'm not aiming at the target, which I am. So you can see this, I'm fighting this Oni frontally, and my first shot I did pen through his cheek, but then I bounced another one off of it, so I just decided to aim at his top cap, which is not an easy shot to make, but at this range 0.4 accuracy isn't terrible. It's pretty easy to hit your target at this range. So this AT, I track him there. Front facing tank destroyers, it's nice to track them so they can't turn their gun towards you. And right as that P43 was gonna help his AT there, my arty slam dunks him. So they have 2 ATs there. And you can see it looks like I'm aiming at this rock, because honestly guys, I don't like this rock, but my gun keeps missing. Like, it's shooting high up out of the reticle and hitting that guy's top cap for some reason. Okay, I'm just kidding. That's the difference between me recording in game and in replay mode. So while I'm recording, I can't stand to look at it. I mean, it seriously looks like I'm shooting this bush, and I missed that shot. But the AT gets shut down, so I'm gonna push up. And there's a T-29 there. You see I bounced another shell off my turret. Now, I should have done counts on how many times shells bounce off Hoots and I's turrets, because I think you'd be surprised. On paper, this thing doesn't look like it'd be able to bounce anything, but I'm telling you, this turret is angled pretty well, and like I said, you use the 7 degrees of gun depression, and you can really maximize what armor you do have on the turret. Alright, so I tracked the T-29. I'm out of APCR rounds, so I gotta make sure that I'm hitting his gun port to reliably pen him. Now, if I had the big gun, I think I could probably get it through his front hull. Not 100% sure on that, but with AP rounds, I mean. Alright, so this guy behind me that's been in the choke, he's kind of been talking the whole time, and once we kill the T-29, he says, "Great job, guys." That was sweet to get through that, and I was trying to say affirmative, and you can see that So I'm still practicing on the comms wheel, trying to learn how to communicate with that. No, actually I was just in a hurry, and then I messed it up, and then I was like, oh, I gotta make sure that he doesn't think I'm mad at him. I said negative. Alright, so I come over here, I get a tracking shot into this guy. He fixes it, but I do get a track assist there. Now I'm just trying to push him to make sure he can't shoot my teammates reliably, and second, I was trying to knock his track back off, but I couldn't do it. So I get up to his side, shut him down. Now there's a stir meal up here. Now to me, I'm thinking, oh, delicious. This guy has no armor. I'm gonna just throw my HE right through his superstructure, and a miss. Do 180 damage, not too bad. I don't remember the stir meal being able to turn this fast. Now, I'm pretty surprised by this. He catches me off guard with how fast he can turn. But I do break his motor, so I feel like I should be able to get to his side. And I miss again in his engine deck. Alright, so he turns back the other way, and I kind of give him a juke, but I just cannot get up this hill as fast as he can turn. Are you kidding me? I know the stir meal got buffed a little bit, and tank traverse must have been one of them, because when I played that thing, I know it didn't turn that fast. So my team shuts down their Black Prince. Now there's just Artie left. So what do I think about this tank? You guys, I enjoy this tank a lot. I liked T20. I didn't keep T20 because it's been so long ago and I needed silver and junk. But this tank is fun. I'm probably going to keep it, surprisingly. It's definitely not like the greatest tank ever, but it's light years ahead of the tier 6. It is kind of expensive to spam the premium rounds too. So if you're on the tier 6, there is hope. Keep grinding. That's really all I got for you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.